Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Emanuela, and today we are going to be talking about something that many students need. We are going to be talking about different study methods, different study techniques when to read and all. And the person with me here is Mr. Shimara Peters Arotiba. I don't think I should speak for him, so I'll give him the floor so he can speak for himself. So you have the floor, sir.
Okay, so my name is Arotiba Shimara Peter. I'm a Nigerian, a 300 level student of the University of Ibadan College of Medicine, and I'm someone who loves mentoring students to be more effective when it comes to their academics, and I'm grateful for this God-given position of advantage actually, yes, to mentor students in the way of academics. So, yeah.
Wow. I'm really grateful. I mean, that's the selfless way. Mentorship, it takes a selfless person to actually be a mentor. And it takes someone that has seen something. And it also takes someone that has seen something to mentor people through the path. So he has seen something. If you recall in a video I did about the best wine student in West Africa, you would see that it's the same face that is here. So I am grateful to have him once again. And as he has said, he's a 300 level medical student of the University of Ibadan. So he has a lot to offer. If you have even passed this stage, it is good you still watch this video because there are things you can still learn from him. So you're welcome, sir.
Yes, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So we are going to be starting with different stages. I will cut this video into different stages. Stages like when to read, like if the exam is far, when to read when the exam is near, and so many other questions. So I jotted down a lot of questions, and we are going to be starting with the first one. So the first one is
not indeed. Okay, let's start.
So the first question is how do you study when there's no motivation? For example, in Nigeria, most of us in federal universities are experiencing a kind of strike, a kind of pause from the academic activities. So there's actually no motivation to read like that. You feel like making money and doing other things. So I would like you to please talk to us on how we can read when there's no motivation.
Okay, thank you. The moment I heard how to read when there's no motivation, something came to my mind which I will share, but I can definitely relate with how that sometimes momentum will be low, there will be little to no motivation to read because it looks like reading at that particular time may not profit much or is a waste of time or is not even needed. But somewhere inside you still know that you ought to at least read and make the best use of this period. So, and this has been the experience of most students in the ASU strike, during this ASU strike. And to be honest, I know that majority of students actually go with the passive state where they actually don't get to touch in their books. They just know it in them that I ought to be reading, but I just don't find myself reading.
Yes.
So what came to my mind immediately is that making commitments, like commitment is a virtue that actually, how do I put it now? That actually is not motivation dependent.
Okay.
Yes, the commitment is a decision to give oneself wholly to something, to always do things as demanded, not as convenient. So the principal advice I have is to make commitments. And to make commitments, you have to first be committed. But even if you don't see yourself as someone who is committed, making such commitments and then keeping yourself accountable to those commitments you make can help. Yes, so you can start from somewhere, 30 minutes daily, an hour daily, whatever, but just make commitments and keep to them. Discipline doesn't thrive on feelings, like discipline forgoes whatever you feel like doing and does what is demanded. So in as much as you know within you that I ought to be doing some study in this break, first of all, I'm talking with regards to the scenario of when there's a long pause or there's a break. Studying kind of keeps your brain fresh and in the right shape for academics, because if you don't study for long and then you resume and then the full weight of academic work hits you, you find out that it will take a long time for you to adapt and then get back to your normal pace, your normal stride. So that is one of the advantages. So once you can see or conceive in your mind that there is a need to study, you can begin to forgo your feelings. Probably later your feelings and the motivation will come into place, but you can start with commitment, and then let me say by God's grace you would start, like the more you keep yourself away from something, the less you even feel like doing it. So it's like a vicious cycle. no motivation, you don't study, the motivation even leaves you, goes farther away from you, and then it just continues like that. But when you break that cycle and start, you find out that motivation starts kicking in. Then, okay, so in this period, let your doing what you do be driven by a desire to do what is needed, not necessarily what you feel like doing. That's the summary of what I'm saying. Then also, I get that there are some people who generally don't have any like the academics, they just go with it to
Get the
like
certificate.
just to get certificate. Like I am looking for the exact
Anything
word
goes.
to use. Like there's no commitment to it. There is
Professions,
no
actually.
passion about it. It's just I just doing this thing. So that's what that state they are in determines how they treat their studies, because you you give attention to things based on the sense of priority you have for them. So for someone who is in this state, what would my advice be for the person? Make yourself see. I think you can discover purpose afresh in your academics. Like education is not something to trivialize. Yes, I know there is that side to it that people emphasize that it's not just by books, it's by getting skills, it's by being streetwise and the likes. But I tell you, education is very necessary. So, but what I'm saying is that you can begin to discover purpose afresh in your academics, because you won't want to be, you won't. It is better for your academics to be something you enjoy doing rather than a one body that you just have to carry and endure till the end. So you can choose to discover purpose afresh. And one of the greatest things that drive me in my academics is the knowledge that as someone who belongs to God, yes, I belong to God, that I'm proudly a child of God.
I am
So
proudly a child of God too.
yes, okay, yes. So we are proudly children of God.
Yes.
And I know that God is the stakeholder in every area of my life. What does that mean? That means my academics ought to give him glory. That he ought to be active in every area of my life, including my academics. So I owe him that responsibility to give it my all, because it is a platform God has committed to me to reveal his excellent nature. Yeah, God is not ordinary.
It's like a ministry, something like that.
Well,
that
I
we
wouldn't
need
want to
focus
call
on.
it ministry strictly, because of the way God's word
For
defines
the years
ministry.
now, you know when you're
But-
getting this admission, you know that you are going to spend like 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. That means that period is like
That's what you're occupied
Yes,
with. I believe.
it's like a
That's
profession at that.
Yes. So, but I like to call it a platform giving you to express the dimensions of God, the nature of God. So that's I can't do it. Imagine if I'm unserious and then God comes and tells me that I owe it to Him to do what is right in every aspect of my life. So that's a very, very sound motivation for giving your academics your all. And yeah, God's word also says that whatever you find to do it with all of your heart. So yes, please don't be on the passive side. Be deliberate about doing whatever you are has been committed into your hands. And now in this context, your academics, doing it well. Don't do a party job so that you just look at it and say, hey, we shall rough and shall we know. Let it be that you look at what you've done and be like, yes, I gave this thing my best. Do you get? Yeah. So I think
Oh, thank you so much.
the question
That's
is well
yes.
answered.
Sincerely, it's quite detailed and encompassing, carrying everything along. Like I get the whole lot. He said something like discipline doesn't thrive on your feelings. It's not like I saw something on someone's status and the person was like, the world class begins where comfort zone
The comfort zone ends.
ends. When I saw that, when I saw it, I was in the east. That day I said I'm going back to school the next day because I went there to enjoy. The kind of like adrenaline that the store released was just something else. So discipline doesn't thrive on your feelings. This is another one that will make me to run and can't carry my book and flog myself. And the fact again that he said that education is a platform where you express the various dimensions of God means that it's abnormal for someone that belongs to God to fail. It's abnormal for someone that belongs
It's a mutation.
It's a mutation. Right. And you know now, if you have, it's a mutation, that means, sorry to say, but like someone that has something like cancer, the person deals with it with full attention. That's the same way you should deal with it when you aren't doing well academically. Like you give it your full attention and try to solve the issue. So thank you so much for that, right?
Yes.
And commitment, you also talked about commitment, a virtue that one can depend on. It's a virtue that does not disappoint. That's the one. So commitment is a virtue that does not disappoint. So the second one is as if we have even touched everything. It's as if we have like told you everything you need to know. But let's just go on to the second question. So the second question is is when your exam is too far, like you just started the semester, the exam is supposed to be in 3 months' time, and you forgot that today was once your last 3 months. So you're now the last thinking that 3 months is far. So when you exam yourself, how do you read? How will you read? Alright, this video is getting quite long. I should cut it here. So watch out for part 2 of this video. I am going to break it down into different parts. Hope you have been enjoying it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and then wait for the part 2. Thank you so much. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I am grateful for the views so far. Please, I'm going to cut this video now because it's getting quite long. See you at part 2 of this video.